What's going on, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I want to talk about the carry role. The carry role is traditionally set in the safe lane. The carry is traditionally accompanied by a support hero. This allows them to concentrate on damage early game. The more traditional carries have very little means of escape, and so positioning is key for this role. Picking a carry role hero also means you need to farm the most. You need to be at 60 card points or max card points before anybody else on the team gets there. You are also competing head to head with the opposing team's carry, so you want to try to get ahead and farm with them. Staying alive is key for the carry role. If you go to engage in a fight, make sure you have backup, because it is very crucial that you stay alive and you're able to farm to get to that max card point. Since the carry is accompanied by a support hero, they receive less hero level, so it is critical that you get the last hits on every minion that you can. As a carry, you want to concentrate on damage more than sustain. So going for attack speed, damage, and crit is key. Not so much going with health and armor. By relying on your teammates, such as your support and everybody else, their job is to keep you alive. If necessary, the support will even sacrifice themselves to keep you alive. If you are new to the carry role, there are two heroes that I would recommend starting with. The first being Twin Blast, followed by Murdoch. There are many other carries, even some melee carries, but starting off, I would recommend these two ranged heroes because they have simplistic kits. First, let's look at Twin Blast's kit. Twin Blast's kit offers very high burst damage potential, and he even has a built-in escape mechanism. Double Shot is Twin Blast's basic attack, and it is the most damaging ability that he has. Rapid Fire is a 3-shot burst that deals 45% basic damage to minions, and starting at rank 1 deals 30% to heroes, and every level scales up 5%. Grenade is a long-range explosion that deals damage in an area of effect. Grenade's range is longer than your basic attack, and so it can be used to secure kills on a hero that is running away. Rocket Dash is Twin Blast escape tool and can be used in any direction that he is moving. It has a longer cooldown, so make sure to use it to dodge attacks and not necessarily to catch up to enemies. Rocket Dash can also be used to jump back to a ledge. Like I do here, if you're being chased by an enemy and use this tactic, you can make them jump down and you're able to run away. Rocket Dash can also be used to jump over distances. Other heroes do have jump abilities, so this is not always the best idea, but when you are running for your life, it is great to have this boost. Twin Blast's ultimate is Ventilate. It does not offer as much damage as the rest of his kit, but has a very long range, and so he is able to secure kills that are running away with it. Let's talk about Murdoch's kit. Murdoch has two passive abilities, Hot Pursuit and Shots Fired. Hot Pursuit is a movement speed boost when enemies are critically wounded. This can be used to catch up to an enemy and secure the kill. Shots Fired boosts the range of Murdoch's basic attack. Every few seconds, you get one shot that has extra range and added basic penetration. Plasma Bolt is Murdoch's basic attack, Starting out, it has a slower attack speed than Twin Blast does, but he ends up actually doing more damage. Buckshot fires a cone in front of Murdoch and pushes back all enemies that are within 700 units. Although this is not an escape tool, it can be used to reposition an enemy while you're able to retreat. Murdoch's ultimate ability is Long Arm of the Law. It is like a sniper shot that can go through any obstacle throughout the entire map. You can use this ability to secure kills as Murdoch, so while you are farming, if you notice an enemy player is low, you can take the shot and kill them. Long Arm of the Law does have a short delay, so lining up the shot to make sure you will hit the target is key. Paragon is a team game, so do not feel bad about shooting an enemy that a teammate would have killed to secure that kill. It's actually better for the ADC or the carry to get kills than any of the other heroes. Now let's talk about the basics of playing an ADC. If you are using the starter's deck, I would recommend going into manual mode and selecting a ward to start out. The Guardian's ward offers 6 points in power, 60 points in health, and gives you a shadow ward. The Scout's ward only costs 1 point, but is not in the shadow plane, so it can be seen by any enemy, and they will be able to destroy it fairly easy. The shadow ward can only be seen by other shadow wards and enemies in the shadow plane. I'm a firm believer that every hero should have wards. It should be the first or the second card that they get, besides their beginning cards. And since you are starting with the beginner deck, it's just best to start with the ward and learn ward placement. Right here is a very good place to place a ward. This will protect you from any kind of invasion, as well as placing a ward here. This will give you eyes on the enemy if they are rotating towards you. Just be sure to look at your minimap and make sure your ward stays up. Also, you recharge a ward every minute and a half or so. It's a great idea to place wards. Always want to keep wards, especially as the ADC, because you are so easy to kill at these low levels. What I'm doing here is just getting last shots. I don't want this lane to push. I want to farm CXP. So I'm waiting till my minions get close to killing the enemy minion and then get the final shot. Typically, I like doing this regardless of what's going on. I like to farm for the first 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how aggressive my support is being. I am in a bot match right now, and my support Faye is constantly attacking the minions, which is fine, but there's two ways to looking at pushing lanes. If you're planning on playing PvP, it is important to know the ADC needs farm. And by farm, I'm talking about staying in lane and getting these last hits on minions. If you down the enemy's tier 1 tower quickly, our lane will be capable of pushing very far onto their side of the map. And farming on their side of the map is not the safest situation for such a squishy character, especially if you do not have wards on their side of the map. It's best to sit back, relax, and farm. I have a siege minion in this group, and so it's a good idea to get that siege minion into the tower, because as soon as he crosses the ring of the tower, he's going to start attacking, and I can run away, and this will also reset the lane to where the tower will kill all my minions and the minions will meet back in the middle. This will allow me to farm even longer. Another trick you can use to reposition the minions is hitting the enemy offlaner. By hitting them, the enemy minions will run towards you, and this will allow you to reposition where the enemies are. Now I go in for a couple of pokes on the enemy tower, but as I said before, I'm not very interested in downing that tower this early in the game. So I don't want to risk anything by being in that tower. So I got a couple of hits in and then backed up, and I'm going to continue my farm. Right here, my lane is pushed up very far into the enemy tower. I know I'm not going to get a minion kill, so it's best for me to just back off and wait till my lane comes back. Right here is a good example of me getting a kill but almost dying for it. And as the ADC, this is not a very good idea, because I am going to have to go back to base to recharge on health now. This is taking me out of the lane. I am a firm believer in giving the support the gold buff, but since I know I'm going back to base, by killing these 2 gold buffs, I'm able to get an extra card. This will allow me to spend another point that I wouldn't have had if I just went back. Here is an example of Murdoch's Hot Pursuit going into effect. When I am close to that enemy and he's critically wounded, you can see I get a small buff and my feet start glowing blue. This allows me to catch up to this enemy. I wasn't necessarily trying to kill him right there, I was just trying to show you all the buff. And you see this Faye is back here, she's also low as well, and I'm able to get that passive buff again. I head down to our off lane to help out this Iggy, and I notice the steel is getting very low. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out Long Arm out of the Law and see if we can get some more damage on him. But I noticed he's not taking any more damage and he's going to back. There's no reason for me to waste my ultimate ability to not secure that kill. It's best to just let him go back. I'm able to get a gank on this Grim, and I get him low, but he's not quite low enough, so I take a little tower damage, use my Long Arm of the Law, and secure that kill. That is a much better idea to do than to wasting it on that steel. If I would have used it on that steel, I would have not been able to get that Grim. We are now pushing in the off lane. Iggy is here with me as well as a decent sized minion wave, but we don't have any vision on the map, so before I go in, I go place a ward in their jungle. This allows me to feel safer by being pushed this far up, because I will see enemies that come from that jungle side. Unless they come straight behind me, they will have to come from in front of the tower. And I will be able to see them if I'm getting collapsed on and be able to retreat. As an ADC, with little vision on the map, if you are pushed up this far, when you see an enemy, it is best to turn and run. Do not try to fight it out. Here is another example of me placing a ward deep in their jungle when I'm pushed up far. Now this spot right here is not the best because I is so close to the mid lane, and it's going to be very easy to get ganked being right here, especially with this fog wall that you can't see through. So I would recommend, if you are going to push up this far, have your support go over and put up a ward. Here's an example of getting out as an ADC. I notice this gadget right here, and I say, hey, we can take her out, but she ultimates me, and she's doing decent amount of damage, so I'm going to run away. I don't want to die for this kill, and so I'm retreating, and I'm going to let Arbelica and see what she can do. I currently feel very confident in my positioning, and I notice Bellica is able to get her low, and I can secure that kill with Long Arm of the Law. But if I would have stayed in that fight, I would almost be dead right now, and with that minion wave there, the minions might have killed me. That's going to wrap it up for my intro to ADC video. There's a lot more advanced tactics and things like that to learn, But I hope this gives you just kind of a basic idea of what an ADC should do. If this video helped in any way, give me some love, leave me a comment, and if you have any questions, let me know and I'll be sure to get back with you. Well, as always, thanks for stopping by, and I really appreciate it.